One of the loudest venues in the NFL. There's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
McPherson has this one teed up, and into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Right to the air is Mahomes. Not open, that's Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Gets it to Hardman, a jet sweep. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
From the 41, Mahomes, complete, the tight end Kelce. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 27-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
from the 13 now. They work on 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes dancing to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes, and it's caught. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him.
There to make the grab. And the Chiefs are on the board first here this afternoon. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Taken down at the 42.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Burrow will throw. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Here's Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Here we go. On second down, here's Mixon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4 down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Mixon with a first down carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow, open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 29-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Jet sweep, Boyd with it. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Here's 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense, and they were there to help force the incompletion.
On 3rd down, Burrow escaping the pressure right. To Mixon on the check down. And they're going to stop him short of the first down as he's tackled at about the 21. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Gets it to Hardman, a jet sweep. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now Mahomes. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 58 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Burrow. Flushed out right. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Burrow on his toes that time as they get the first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Now Burrow on first down. Dumps it off to Mixon. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow, throw left side, complete to Chase. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 44-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Burrow. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Throwing again, it's Burrow.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10. That's caught over the middle by Hurst.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Pass to Boyd, and he brings it in on the crossing route.
And he's going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to convert by punting there on 3rd and 1. Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first. After one, a 14-3 ball game. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
First down marker at the 5. It's 2nd and goal. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. The quick slant caught. Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here we go.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now it's Burrow. He's getting it. Touchdown, Bengals. Hayden Hurst, 4-yard out, and the Bengals have got it back to within a score. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 27, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL, but just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Gets past one man.
Down to the 42, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mahomes now to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mahomes going to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 18. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
Throwing the out route here, and it's complete to Kelsey.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground, 1st and 10.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
Here's Mahomes to throw.
Along the sideline, making the connection to Hardman.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd and goal.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 2nd and goal, Mahomes. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The Chiefs on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Juju Smith-Schuster on a touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes.
As his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they're going to continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Burrow on 3rd down. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Burrow hooking up with Higgins for a Bengal first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Play action. It's Burrow. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. It was Frank Clark that time who got in there to bring him down.
The last run went so well for them. Maybe they should have just handed it off right here, too. Instead, the quarterback ends up keeping it, and the defense is right on it and wipes away the yardage gained on the last snap.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. He'll drop to throw. He completes it to Boyd. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line. Now it's Burrow. And he can't escape, and down he goes. George Karlaftis able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Mixon will try the right side. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they have the football and will set off shop at the 33-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That's the tight end Hurst with it.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
On 4th down, Drew Chrisman on to punt. Back deep is Kadarius Toney.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
KC's offense ready to take over. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Mahomes finding Juju there for the Kansas City first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Mahomes. On the slant, he's got Hardman. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Locates Hardman for another catch. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdez-Scantling bringing in that one from Patrick Mahomes as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Here's Burrow. Again, that's Hurst. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow eluding the pressure right.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. First down. Here's Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd.
Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is definitely a big mountain to climb in this third quarter. The teams are already back out there, so let's not waste any time as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Short throw underneath to Hurst. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here we go.
From the 29, Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. Able to find Higgins. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Chiefs' 42-yard line.
And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. Now Burrow. Quick slant caught by Chase. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going, a little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Boyd. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. Burrow looking to pass. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain now makes it 1st and goal.
Something had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game. Then he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Joe Mixon, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals Bengals are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right. Usually
it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there of 22.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Juju Smith-Schuster on the touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin, because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay, because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is up to 18 now. after the touchdown. Here's Butker on to kick it away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense.
The returns on the last drive, pretty good. 7 for 7, touchdown pass. Probably take that, right?
I would say so. I mean, when you're cutting them apart that way, feeling so accurate, so confident going downfield, and then able to culminate by putting it in the end zone, oh, yeah, he's feeling real good right now.
Now he'll try to carry that over to this drive.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll set up a throw.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now Burrow on 1st down.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again, it's Burrow.
Open man is Chase, complete.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Hayden Hurst, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bengals get a bit closer.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
And McPherson on for the extra point.
And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
And now here comes Kansas City.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
Make these big
Now here's Mahomes. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. They're sitting hard that time. Going into the ground.
And that's that, Charles. Just looked like the case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Steps away to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A handoff as they run the counter play. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly.
He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 48 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And out now, here come the Bengals.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. He'll look to throw.
Out of his hands quickly to Higgins.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as he'll drop him for a loss of 4.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Hooking up here with Trent Taylor. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Burrow. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 32-yard line.
Here we go. Big 13. Big 13.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Willie Gay getting in there and picking up the sack.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there. Saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It was Leo Chanel who got in to drop him.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Chiefs offense set to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 11. They'll start this drive out on the ground. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Straight ahead they go with McKinnon. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And they'll run on the inside handoff. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2nd down, McKinnon. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
On second and very short, Burrow. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He's going to find Taylor downfield. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Over the middle, complete. That's Taylor. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This time it's 3rd and 3. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't get in.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this one is no good. He missed it. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores. Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action, now Mahomes. That's into a crowd and intercepted. The passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
we go.
Watch 50. Coming in.
Here we go. Right 80.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the delay, it's Mixon. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs.
Nice high. Stay high.
50, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that 1st down run.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. McPherson's kick is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Mahomes now on first down. Flush to his right. With the left sideline, it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mahomes. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. For the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
To the air again, Burrow. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
Right back to him on 1st down. It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
That's a good way to think because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, Really just personnel. They're going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
So the big play nullified, illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Now Burrow. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Burrow looking to pass. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the 31. It's intercepted. It is. It's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And Pat has no idea what the top speed is on all those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one. Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Kansas.